Choosing the right supplier team is absolutely crucial to getting a successful wedding day and an enjoyable and successful planning journey. In this episode, I'm going to tell you how to get the most out of your wedding suppliers. Ciao, I'm Lucy, wedding planner and founder of Lista.com. Each week, I provide Italian wedding planning wisdom for couples planning Italian weddings. I'm here to give you clear, honest and up-to-date advice about your Italian wedding planning journey, so that you can plan your Italian wedding with ease. I've worked at hundreds of Italian weddings, and believe it or not, your supplier team really affects the vibe of your wedding day and how you as your couple feel on the day. I've been an Italian bride myself, and I can say firsthand, having the right people around me on the day really made a difference to how I felt and how the day flowed. So here are my tips on how to get the most out of your suppliers and make sure that that happens for you on your day. So firstly, be respectful and polite to wedding suppliers. Now, we get loads of inquiries and emails every single day, and that first email really stands out. Your wedding and your inquiry is so important to us, but we can really tell a lot from that vibe. So if you go straight in asking for a price or a discount, that's going to potentially make a supplier wonder about working with you. While suppliers might be able to negotiate with you further down the line, it might be something to just get to know them and connect a little bit and then go from there with the price inquiry. We want to know that you really like our work and you might really want to work with us and get to know us and then chat about the money. Most wedding suppliers will only be able to take a limited number of weddings each year, and we really want to connect with you. We really want to care about your wedding and we really want to get to know you. So as much as it's a transactional thing, sending out those emails and getting inquiries firstly, it's actually really important to us to find that connection, and it goes both ways. Second thing is to understand their job a little bit. So it's really likely that you'll never have hired some of these suppliers or services before. If you understand a little bit about what's involved in their job, maybe by watching some videos or talking to some suppliers, even asking them some questions like literally, what do they enjoy about their job? It will give you a little bit of an insight into actually what is involved, and not only will this build a connection with them and help you work out if they're the right person for you, it actually helps you learn about your wedding and how to get the best out of your suppliers further down the line if you understand their jobs a little bit more. Another way to make the most of your suppliers is to understand the true value of what they're offering. So as a wedding planner, I often see couples come to me with a price in their head of what a service or a value is worth. This isn't based on their budget, so they haven't got this much money for a photographer and they're going with that. It's a kind of old belief that a photographer is worth X amount of money. And often it's a really old belief and it's not actually up to date with what photographers do in their jobs or what they actually cost. This can often lead couples kind of forcing a supplier or a quality of service into a budget that just doesn't fit. So trying to get something that's worth £5,000 for £2,000 just isn't going to work. And to be really honest, the price you pay for something is usually what it's actually worth. So if you want that £5,000 photographer and you're looking around and you end up with a £2,000 one, you're probably going to just disappoint yourself and you're never going to truly get what you want. My advice here is to actually make your budget a bit more streamlined. So do less things, but do them really well so that you actually don't disappoint yourself. You are not going to get a £5,000 service for a £2,000 price point, and it's going to disappoint you potentially throughout your planning, especially on your wedding day. You don't want to feel any sort of negativity or disappointment on the day, and obviously afterwards as well. So suppliers can add a lot of value to your wedding. They are experts. They've been at hundreds, if not thousands of weddings. They've seen the good, the bad and the ugly, and they probably have a lot that they can add to your wedding planning. So be open to that, listen to them, and even ask them if they've got any advice. It's also really important to manage your own expectations of suppliers. So this means making sure that what you're booking is actually what you want. So you're not going to expect a million different deliverables from a supplier and they're only actually contracted to give you 3. This is going to set you up to fail. So if you're clear from the start what relationship and communications you have with your supplier, then you can make the most of it. If you've got extra calls or consultations included, really maximize those and make sure that you actually go through with them, because again, They will add so much value to your planning with all of that advice that that expert supplier can give you. So obviously the wedding day is the day that the suppliers actually need to do the best possible job for you. And there's a few things you can do to help them set up for that and make sure they can come and be absolutely excellent on your wedding day. The first thing is to brief them really well. So this means a brief outline of your day, usually in the form of a timeline. This is for someone like a photographer or a videographer, checking that they know where they're going, they've booked where they're going to stay, anything just to help them make it that little bit easier so that when they come, you know, if they're staying nearby, their travel's easier, they're going to come more refreshed and be able to put more energy into your day. Other suppliers need a much more thorough briefing with many more details. And if you've got a wedding planner, they should help you do that. If you're doing it yourself, then really just think about all of the information that they may need from you and ask them what they need. Just say, literally, what do you need from me to be able to give me the best day possible? The second most important thing you can do to make sure your wedding day itself goes really well is to let your suppliers know that you trust them. Going into a wedding, I can speak for myself, knowing that I'm completely trusted to deliver my job, which I have done many times and I'm really good at, is the best thing. It just takes all of the stress away and means that you can go in and just be the best you possibly can at your job and that you're all a team and it's going to go exceptionally well. This really empowers your suppliers to absolutely turn up and excel in their role for you on the wedding day. And the third thing on the wedding day is to just make sure that you have the right things in place to keep your supplier team going. That means food, drink, and somewhere to rest. Now, we're absolutely not the VIPs of your wedding day, don't get me wrong, but these suppliers are probably on their feet, some of them for 16 or more hours on that day, sometimes in really hot weather and in really large venues where they're doing lots and lots of walking around. If they don't have the right food, drink, or somewhere to just sit down for 5 minutes, they're probably going to get really tired. If not, they're going to get sick or they're going to faint. I've seen people faint. So your supplier team hopefully will all support each other, but if you can make sure that they've just got that simple 3 things in place, they are going to stay topped up, energized, and able to do everything they can to make sure that your day from start to finish is brilliant. So that's it. There's some of my top tips on how to get the most out of your wedding suppliers on your wedding planning and your wedding day. My mission is to help reach as many couples as possible with this Italian wedding planning knowledge so that they really enjoy wedding planning and have the best Italian wedding that they can. You can help me by commenting below and subscribing to our videos, and every Wednesday there'll be a new episode from us. And remember that I'm always cheering you on in your wedding planning. If you've got any questions at all, me and my team are here. We're over at _Lista on Instagram. You can DM us, you can ask us questions, or check out lalista.com to find more advice and practical tips on how to plan your Italian wedding. See you next week.